look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I'm always excited to be getting paid money. And I'm getting paid money on FIVERR to check out the new Asylum Escape. My lamp just fell down. A whimsical horror tabletop card game. Ooh, looks like they cut the part about the lamp falling down. I thought that was an odd choice to have that in there. But this is one of the services that I do on my FIVERR. Not to brag, 86 reviews. On average, 5 stars. It says 5 stars, but I've had some that were less than 5 stars, so they're fudging the numbers there. But if you have any feedback about this one in particular, be sure to leave it in the comments below, because this one is not live yet. They want the feedback. They want to know what people think about what they got going on here. They sent me an email. They said, hey, we watch your channel, and we want to get the lowdown. We want to know what everybody else is thinking as well. So Asylum Escape, a whimsical horror tabletop card game escaping a crumbling asylum where one player controls the crazed patients and the other desperate victims hide and betray each other. So it's a one versus all-esque, but it looks like the all might also be cooperative, semi-cooperative, something like that. I do like the 3 to 7 players, ages 15 plus, 30 to 45 minutes. Gives me an idea of what I could be expecting here a little bit. Looking at the main image, it looks like it's just the front of the box, which is, it's a fine-looking box. It's nice-looking artwork. It looks good. But I'm sure there's something else here that would probably be a little bit more eye-catching at some point. And I'm sure we'll go through the page and we'll figure it out. And I'll be like, oh, that might be something to put up there. Another thing that I want to mention is that they did also say that there's a couple things that are missing from here, like some gifts and whatnot. So they're planning 40 days. That feels like a long time. I mean, it is what it is. I think that's we typically see 30 or less. Not necessarily a bad thing. Escape a crumbling asylum. Escape a crumbling asylum political commentary. Oh, I thought about making a video. One of these days, I thought about live streaming that. I was like, yeah, that'd be interesting. $25,000 goal. So first and foremost, they're going with an actual real goal. Like, hey, we actually need money. We can't just put like $8,000 here, get $1,200, get $12,000, and that sort of thing. So $25,000 is what we're asking for. As always with the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? I do know the player like time, count, and age though, and I'm very intrigued. I love that player count. Let's go.
Dr. Paradise's Rehabilitation Island. A
210, so not too long, not too short.
Government-approved facility where societies forgotten were sent to be reformed. But within those walls, unimaginable experiments were conducted on the patients, all in the name of progress. The patients were locked up tight, but there's no way they could get out.
So we're going straight theme here. Not a particularly big fan of this. You want to do this? It's awesome, great, but show me something game-wise. Like, I want to see a board. I want to see thematic. Like, because you got to realize we're 20 seconds in, and I still don't know anything at all about like what I'm actually doing like on the board. I want to know.
That is, until the power went out. The patient player takes the first turn. They begin by finding.
Boom, perfect timing. So I was going to say if it kept stretching, it was going to be a concern. Not too bad. 25 seconds, we start getting the components. Fine.
Their starting location. Meanwhile, all the victims secretly write down where they want to.
Whoa, boo. So that's going to be the big bugaboo there. Is that each game is going to be different because all the different cards are going to be at different locations, and they get there. It looks like micro cards. They're going to have different locations. That's fine. No issues with that whatsoever. Picks up less table space as long as I can read the text. Awesome. Looks good. Good shot so far. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Show me those components, baby.
Them secretly write down where they want to start. They draw camouflage and sabotage cards discussing their character effects, and the game begins. The patient then flips a coin to...
I wish, see, like right there would have been a nice time to seamlessly interweave those cards, because that's what I want to see. I want to see the patients and whatever else you said cards. Like, even if you showed it to me in advance and I started to look at it, and then I heard you say the patients of a card, I was like, oh, that's the card I'm looking at right here. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Oh, wow, yeah, that'd be a different gameplay from this to that. I definitely feel like not bad going like with the full blown, with the makeup, the hair, and everything like that, but also show me these cards. I want to see them. I want to see the variability from game to game while you're showing me the cool theme.
To determine their movement. On heads, they move 1 room. On tails, they move 2. If they don't catch a victim, the patient goes into a frenzy, gaining a bloodlust card. making it even more likely they'll catch and kill someone.
I want to see the other side. Hopefully show me the other side.
Remember,
I want to see the other side. I'm a gamer. I want to see the other side. Card Sandy is finally a Kickstarter I can afford. Yeah. It's always nice. It's always nice when it's like, oh, this one's probably not going to be $185 for a Euro game. And holy guacamole, I hope I really like that Euro game. Like, I'm looking at you, Puerto Rico, and I love Puerto Rico. I want to get my hands one day on that Deluxe Divide Puerto Rico that's launched tomorrow, but man, it's crazy. Euro games costing that much just blows my mind. All right, back in here.
when the patient lands in your room, you're only ever one roll away from death.
Kind of want to see that card real quick there. Double the movement or something or other. Double movement for one patient this turn. Move them again. Oh, because they're being chased by a boar, they move. So,
Death.
so what's that mean? Like, how thematically, why did I die? Like, I'd love to see it on, like, a little board or something like that. Just splice it in there.
On a victim's turn, they may choose to draw.
Because, like, there was an extra 2-3 seconds there. I feel like we could, without even necessarily adding extra time to it, we could, yeah, it'd be nice.
A movement card if they are scared, or if they're feeling relatively
Target a victim, they must reveal their location to a 2x2 square. Ooh, okay.
safe, they may draw a camouflage or sabotage cards. Sabotage cards can be used to, well, sabotage another victim, making them more likely to be caught. If you happen to move into a patient's room for any reason, you are caught and only one roll away from death.
I was
As
jumping
the
pretty
game
fast.
progresses, more patients are released and rooms are destroyed, leaving less hiding spots for victims. Remember, in Asylum Escape, only one player may win. There's only one.
I feel like this. I feel like it's a bit long. I feel like tighten it. Feels a bit. Either that, or maybe it's just because there's not enough to like keep me engaged. You know, like, and that could potentially be just showcasing to me some more stuff, like the cards or specific. Oh, cool. That's cool. That room's gonna do this thing. Like, you know, just something in there. I think that could probably actually do it, right? Because like if I'm reading a card, yeah, I think you could.
One vote off the island. Will the victim escape, or will the patients claim another lost soul to sate their hunger for revenge?
See, I want to see what this looks like board state-wise. What's the end of the game board state-wise? Like, oh, what am I going to look like? Oh, if I would have just went this way. Like, I feel like we could showcase a little bit more of the feel of the game in the video just by showcasing components. There's a tendency to skip over explanation that seems obvious to the creator, but is not to an outside observer. Agreed. Because it doesn't seem like it's a terribly complex game, but I still don't feel like I really know exactly how it would work.
Buy Asylum Escape today and find out now.
That was fun. Okay. I think it's a solid foundation. I think, honestly, I would just showcase the components a little bit more. If we have a great price, maybe even mention that in there, little teaser. If we have the standard and a deluxe fight, and I don't know. I try and come to this super blind. I always do. That's how I get the honest feedback out. Because if I see it twice, I'm like, oh, yeah. Hours playtesters should be a reported metric. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But people would just like, oh my gosh. Vera Hode. I have a Kickstarter right now, and I played it, and I was like, man, did you play? I can't believe you blind playtested this. I just don't think you did. Like, there's stuff that you what? Like, okay, we're done. First grade 0 back. One thing to potentially consider doing is backing a bunch of stuff for $1 if you want to make it look like a more impressive thing. It's not a big deal. Some people, it just makes it look like you're more of a member of the community. Blind Eddie Games. Let's make sure the link is not dead. You don't have a bunch of $1 to throw around. You can do it to stuff that's potentially going to fail, and you still get credit for it. Cauldron Chaos. Keep an eye out for a new one. So it's hoping to become a serious soul. So in the manufacturing world, this would be someone who is hoping to become, we call a first-time publisher. So we have serial small publishers of people who put out, 2-3 games, hopefully a year. At least by our metric. And this is someone who's looking to hopefully start doing that. So first-time publisher. So wow me. Let's go. Asylum Escape, a tabletop game where you'll betray your friends or die trying. Will you escape from the asylum? I'd like to know the price as well. Hopefully it's going to be here. The tiers. Okay. Cool. You did use emojis there. It's clear. Use this. Great. Will you escape from the asylum? That's not a bad-looking setup right there. That looks pretty good. Can't get a real feel for that box. Is that like a big square? I dig that style box. I'll be captured before like a deep box featuring 7 card types. So many cards was it? Okay. I feel like you're telling me a lot without telling me the biggest things I want to know, which is the components and the price. Asylum Escape offers high replayability with its 17 unique victims. Wow. This would be so much better if it was right next to an awesome victim that showed me a really cool ability set. Oh, that sounds neat. I want to try that one. 26 diverse patients. Once again, show me a patient here. Because I see these, but these are just kind of moving GIFs, whatever you want to call them. I don't even care. I don't get to see one like right here that's like, oh, okay, different. And that's why I feel like we should just maybe get to the component list here. Just like, all right, what is a unique victim? Asylum Escape is a fast-paced, asymmetric horror board game of survival, betrayal, and strategy. Players known as victims must hide, sabotage. So we're talking theme, cool. One player plays as the patient's tasked with hunting down and eliminating all victim players. So we got Scary Escape, Not So Thing from Factory. Okay. Victims players are trapped inside the asylum, desperately trying to remain hidden from the patients long enough to escape. Now, these victims, though, these are like the asymmetrical aspect of it, right? Because that's what you were talking about, 17 unique victims. Well, right now, they just, like, you're literally not showing me the exact thing that I want to see. So hopefully those are going to be added there. But that's what I really would love to see here. Like, if I see, you know, a couple of these, I'm like, oh, these look different. These look unique. Going to play me time. And I'm like, oh, there's 17. And maybe we hit stretch goals, stuff like that. You know, maybe there's expansion. We're throwing it in there. Shocking, I know. Graphic design. I'm going to shoot you straight. It looks a bit lower than I'd say industry standard. Like, not like terrible, but definitely I don't feel like people are going to be like, oh, wow, it's great graphic design kind of thing. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But once again, if the colors work well, like they're super functional, then I don't give a crap. Like I will sacrifice beauty if it's like, oh, this color system they have is super useful, because at least these colors do look very different and diverse. I swear, I keep playing games where it's like, why did you choose these two colors? We always do. Like, when is this epidemic going to end? And I know maybe it's bad manufacturers who don't send samples like they should. Like, but it's just like, all right, weird soapbox. The asylum is divided into various things. So once again, cool locations. I don't care unless you tell me about said locations and what they do different and why they're special. Right now, they're just cards with pictures. Each room could be your salvation or your death as the asylum crumbles. So do your move your cards out. So just hit me with the price already. Bloodless cards resolve when patients finish a turn without killing someone. The impact thing. Camo Sabo. Camo cards allow victims to hide from patients. It feels like we're just throwing things. Just here we go. We're just throwing everything at this, which is totally fine. But I put the really important stuff before you do the throwing at things. That's what I always say. I don't necessarily think you can have too long of a Kickstarter page. I just think you can go way too long without mentioning the most important, vital, useful information. But granted, with this here, being able to just click on wherever you want, that's a lot less of a moot point. Creator here, by the way, looking for the feedback. I'm a few minutes behind. Hey, Nick. Glad you could join. Setting to be reformed. So this is this the...
Dr. Pear
Is this a different video?
released and rooms are destroyed.
Okay, so once again, like, I don't feel like this should be above vital, useful, crucial information. Because once again, this is almost like redundant. Like, I saw this. I saw it. Ages 15, 30 to 45. Actually, it wasn't 30 to 45. I thought it was 30 to 70. I thought it was. Could have swore these. Double check. Oh, nope. Dumb. Numbers are hard. I get them mixed up all the time. An old man. Oh my gosh. I was on my Facebook feed, and someone I went to high school with, a friend I went to high school with, is a grandpa now. I was like, what the fuck? Just, no. I'm 38, no. So check out the Facebook. Once again, great to have. Not above everything else. Or our website, Board Game Geek Entry. Cool. Click here for rules. These are all nice. That's fantastic. I do think the abundant use of AI-generated art is going to turn some people off, though. And here's what I will once again get to the price. Get to the point. Get their money before they get turned off by the AI generated art. Because it looks like now it's just like, oh, we're just going to throw some stuff up here. Like this rule booklet right here is just like, oh, we're just going to throw random stuff up there. And I don't think it looks great. Also, just a document would be good. This is not what I like. This is fine, but give me the document. That way, people are going to be much more inclined to look at it and be like, all right, page 8. Like, here, you got this. But they're technically there. That's a check mark. Fun fact, several of the characters, both victims and patients, are dedicated to real people. Some are even friends and family of the creative team. Cool. The tiers, here we go. Print and play, $10. Okay. Seems a bit high. It doesn't seem terrible, but it's just, it doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem bad. Doesn't seem great. It's 10. Whatever. Moving on. It's going to have so few people that whatever. Just it's very few people purchase print and plays most of the time. That is changing though. Standard, here we go. $34. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we need to get to. I've been doing this for 18 minutes now, and I'm just now getting to. Also, that font, that font is not great. I'd also convert that to euros and pounds as well. Canadian dollars, if you're feeling frisky, that'd be super nice as well. But that font has definitely got to go. Just make it clean and clear. I know you want to be thematic here. Not the time. So the physical base game, standard treatment. This is not great. I want to know all the components. I know you've danced around about all the different components yet, but I want to know how many cards, how many this, how many that. And you did kind of, but it's just a long, sexy scrolling shot is typically what it's called. You go to most Kickstarter pages, they're going to have, like, ooh, here's all the components. It's just boom, 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 one after the other. You don't have to show all of them, but 17 of these victim cards, and you pop 2, 3 up front, so we get the gist of what's going on. And then because you do inevitably have the deluxe edition, so $34. First and foremost, not a bad price. I would put that right up towards the top. That is such a small amount of money in the Kickstarter landscape. Everybody's big game hunting, $200-$300 games. You come around like a 34, you're like a single velociraptor. Like, oh, there's only one of you? Like, yeah, sure, what the hell not? So that's a weird analogy. But yeah, I think you spotlight that. I think we get to that way earlier. This feels Kickstarter, like $34 feels like a Kickstarter of 10 years ago project price where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's actually a reasonable price. So I would do that. Now, I understand that probably the reason why that price is so solid is because you are asking for $25,000. Like, you actually do have a realistic funding goal. So, because that's a lot of copies of the game. Refresh about the unique victim thing. Creator here, but refresh about the unique victim thing. Let's go. I refreshed. Going down. Oh wait, I could just do this. Rules, tiers. That is nice. I love this. That makes, oh man, Kickstarter, big ups. Unique victims. Or what is that? Card types. Here we go. Victims, players. Here we go. Sticky fingers may take camo, Cybo cards from other players' hands. Does not get to look at their cards. Here's one thing I would do. I would get in front of this and I would immediately mention that I would be very adamant. Big bold text. We are in the process of polishing, fine-tuning, graphic design, artwork, everything you see here, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm sure it's somewhere down here, but I think I would get in front of that, because I imagine a lot of people are going to say that about the graphic design. It looks, I'll give you a good example. This graphic design actually reminds me of a game that I really, really love called Fallen Lands. Fallen Lands. But that game has, 1,000 cards with tons of text, where it's just standardizing it to that point isn't a big deal. But I think you will have people mentioning the graphic design, and I'm not trying to dog on the graphic designer. It's just something I would get in front of, and that's the way you can do it. And then if it comes out, it's still we said we were, whatever. But cool, I do like that. Criminal cannot draw your own camo solo cards. Great. Bloodlust. So yeah, hopefully we'll have more text on cards. We'll see. And like I said, I thought that was going to be something they would add. Set to be reformed. So what is this? B-roll. Check out the Facebook. So yeah, what am I putting here? Hopefully there's a gameplay video. How to play video. So the price bump up is $45. Let's do it. Am I $45 convinced that I need a mat and a patient portfolio? Right now, there's no picture at all of really what I feel like I'm getting here. I see the mat, I guess. What's the portfolio? So we definitely are going to have to doll this up. I actually was working with someone at Hero Time I work with where I remember I was talking to him on Kickstarter. I was talking to him months in advance, and they were like, yeah, I don't feel like most people are going to want the deluxe version of the game. And I was like, I study this stuff, but like, and he's like, and he based his whole Kickstarter price around that. But I don't feel convinced right now. I don't know what the patient portfolio is. I don't feel convinced of anything right now. I need to see more. I need to know more. We definitely need to gloss this up. And now we're getting cart in front of the horse territory. Asylum Edition, autographed by creator. 4 notebooks and 4 pens. So now it's like, oh, we're making this stuff? Why are we making this stuff? Like, this feels like the kind of thing where you say after, like, and I said this exact same thing to him, oddly enough. This feels like the kind of thing where if you blow up in the first 72 hours, then maybe you can add this stuff after the fact. Be like, oh yeah, but due to popular demand, we're adding this, that, the other thing. But if you don't blow up and these are here, it makes me like, man, I wonder what the funding goal would be like if we didn't have, the pledge levels where it's like, oh, we're making pens too, and notebooks, and coffee mugs, and liquor, or something. Everything in excess, which I'm sure it's not liquor because that's probably illegal, so it's going to be like something else. But it's like, it's just mailed murder mystery letters and patients. So this is cool. This is a unique idea. And honestly, like this sort of pledge right here, if marketed to the right crowd, could move the whole damn thing, right? Like, oh, cool, they're going to send you a drink, and it's like a murder mystery, it's a fun thing, it's 100, like, that's neat. That's a very neat idea. And then we have the It's Alive edition, the contraband cachet retailers, so I don't even know, everything in a previous tier, plus create a character. Also, $489 lets you create a character in the game, but not in this game, in the Asylum Escape standalone sequel, Abduction Escape. Okay. Standalone sequel. I do like standalone sequels. Standalone expansions. It's weird to hear sequel. All right, so what do we got now? So the tier area, I definitely feel like it feels rough. I think you need to really doll it up, showcase me a little bit more. The number of cards make me feel the value. And you don't have, and here's the thing, it's not a huge value you have to make me feel, is it? Right? It's $34. And that is such a solid price. That looks like a lot of cards there. Like, looking at this picture, like, put a number on this. You tell me it's 150 cards, 200 cards, whatever it may be. The counters, the standees, I say $34. That feels like a darn reasonable price, especially once we get to shipping. Potentially, I'm in. And I think that's something we need to lean on here. Honestly, I look at that main image. I think $34. I think that potentially something you consider putting there because that's a rock solid price. And if you can get them with a cool idea, I think you're in. And once again, we got to look at it from both perspectives. Yeah, I mentioned earlier how you might want to get to the price a little bit earlier because if people don't like AI generated art, rub it in their face. Be like, all right, whatever. I'll just get it over. Let's just get my money. And if they do like the AI generated art, this feels like, oh, $34. Like that's the kind of thing where I want to support this kind of thing, right? Because there's always the other side of the coin. And it's like $34. This game looks fun. I want to support the AI brotherhood, whatever. So, I think we get to that price earlier, just all the ways around. Now, the question is, how do we sell this? And that's really, I guess I don't know what the patient portfolio is, so let's find that out. It's alive, things, stuff, the lore. That's not a patient portfolio. There's only one boat off the island. Oh, cool, this is theme. Neat. What's included in the game box? Oh, okay, 26 patient cards, 17 victim cards. I would interweave this with the tier area. I would take the what's included and the tiers, bump that up to the top, hit me with that $34 real quick, because that's a great price. It's not hard, and I would once again, but hopefully these will all have text on them as well. And the more you can show me, the better. Also, I would put right here like the total number here. Calculate it up for me, like this number of cards broken up to 26 patient cards, 17 victim cards, that sort of stuff. 25 location cards, 60 movement. And also I imagine these cards are different sizes because I think the ones on the ground were micro cards potentially, right? It looked like 1 die and 5 stand, 17 Kickstarter exclusive cards. Okay, I feel like this should be mentioned earlier. Oh, is this the portfolio cache? No, this isn't the portfolio cache. What is this? So yeah, I would mention that earlier. You know, you got something like, it's not going to be available after retailer, whatever the song and dance is that people say, kind of thing. We all know. And then we got 25 location codes. Yeah, so I would bump some of this stuff up higher, especially at $38. Thank you for bringing Asylum. Use of AI. I plan to use AI generated content in my project. Much of the artwork is generated altered through the use of AI with intent. So you mentioned it here. No one can complain about that. Yada yada yada. Is this limited to 3? $4.89 feels like a lot. Man. But if you get them, you get them, right? I just feel like you're more likely to get them. Like, here's what I would say. You know, with these $489 ones, you always have to look at it from two perspectives, because we're not really looking at this from the perspective of consumers necessarily, right? Because hear me out. What we're looking at is from the perspective of someone who really likes you, who loves you, who has money, who wants to see you succeed in your cool new endeavor. And hopefully, I hope you have people like that in your life. I've had people like that in my life before. I hope you do as well. And so at that point, I'm like, $4.89. Like, it doesn't feel like a great price, but it's like, all right, like, I get it. You know, I feel like it's more like $300. Feels like less of a gut punch, but at the end of the day, I also don't feel like you're heavily banking on this. $4.89 is only 2% roughly of that, because $25,000, that's a lot. You know, so really, it pretty much banks on how many people are we going to get up to that $79 version. $79 right there. I don't feel like we sold it well at all. It doesn't feel great. Hey, see, goody. So I feel like we really need to explain that. I feel like this feels, it doesn't feel great. And then they're like, you're limited. And then you do that weird thing. I hate this. I really hate this. It drives me mad, and I would love it since you're in the chat. Why do you limit it to 300? Like, what on here are you like, whoa, if we get 301, I'm done. Like, you're not, like, if you're buying 300 freaking pens, you're not buying 300 pens, you're buying 1,200 pens. Okay, if you're up to the 1,200 pen mark, and I work in manufacturing, like, I see the cost of doing, because, like, we have this person called the sourcing agent, and pretty much I reach out to the sourcing agent and say, hey, this customer has this thing they want, how much would it cost to get these into the game? And if you're getting 1,200 pens, they are dirt cheap. Don't tell me you won't make that 301. So it boggles my mind why we do this artificial, like, if you get to 300, you're not going to extend it. It's just so weird to me. Not sure about that. If they can hit it with 74, they can hit it with 34. I think they can, but I think they need to sell me what it is. And right now, I don't think like, literally, I have no idea. Custom playmat. Because if the custom playmat is a banger, and it's super helpful, and it, like, helps me want to get the game out to the table, because I know it's going to be easier to teach. Like, I actually have one that comes to my mind right now. It's for Splendor. That just does something little tiny that tells me exactly how many chips need to be out based on the player count. It's a little tiny thing right there. And it's like just little stuff like that. Like, is it one of those where I'm like, yeah, I actually want this? Then what's the other thing? Includes a game, a custom playmat to enhance your experience, and Dr. Paradise's patient portfolio filled with secrets, lore, backstory, and strategies that might just... So it's like a booklet? Is it the booklet underneath that? I don't know. This feels like the second print run kind of thing to me, honestly. And this makes me wonder, like, yeah, this feels like a second print run kind of thing. This feels cart in front of the horse. I'm just going to call it like it is. This is what I totally say. Card, mat, patient portfolio. If you want to go deluxeified, I don't know if I'd go with the booklet, though. Like, it's just... Or unless you can really spotlight it, right? Unless you can just bang it out. Like, picks below make it look appealing. Picks below, but if the picks below make it look appealing, then I guess it's kind of like what I was saying there. I feel like you just need to take the stuff from down there and bring it in. I think we need more stuff that looks really good in the video, right? And all we have to do is own it and be like, this is the prototype that you're seeing right here. It's a work in progress. Like, you put that up towards the top, $34, great price. And then we also need shipping as well. We don't have shipping at all here. So if especially if the shipping's rock solid, which I imagine the shipping is rock solid. And if you haven't looked into it, with that size box, I would consider looking into a USPS flat rate padded shipping envelope. You put a little extra padding, just a teeny smidge bit extra padding in there. You could probably squeeze one of those boxes in there, and that might actually give you some decent shipping to both the United States and to internationally as well. I don't know how much the price is raised or that, but that's something. I don't know why you're doing shipping in the back end, but that's something to consider. If you do that, make sure you sign up for stamps.com as well, because even if you sign up for stamps.com and just do it for like a month or something like that, you get like, I think it's like 5 to 10% off on every single one you do. So something to mention. I don't know how you're doing your shipping logistics, whatnot. The cards are a huge part of the pick, and cards don't do it for me. You're right. I thought the cards were booklets in the pick. Yeah, I think we just need to spotlight more, showcase more, move it up a little bit. Also, do we have stretch goals? If we do, little thing, when we get funded, bump them up towards the top. So overall, final grade, early grade, Asylum Escape, a whimsical horror tabletop card game. Do I want it? I want to know more. I want a gameplay video, right? I don't think I saw that. I feel like I saw videos, but I don't feel like one was a gameplay video. And I think that's super important, especially if it goes up to 7. Like, I'd love to see what's the difference 3 to 7 sort of thing. Where am I looking? Where are the dang videos? There were videos. I feel like the video should have a tier. That's very common. Videos to have a tier. Is this the... This is B-roll. Yeah, so none of this is... Yeah, I would have a gameplay video, for sure. Oh, and I actually think they mentioned that. They were like, hey, do you want a prototype? So I got to email them. Standard edition and interested, deluxe, not really. Yeah, and I'm trying to think what it would be. I don't... Like, here's the thing. This right here is such a wild card that it could work. Like, I could see that being something that would push it over the edge. Because that's like... Because we got to remember once again, who are the people who are going to be looking at this? These are people that typically spend, $150 to $300 on Kickstarter sometimes, right? So if this game looks fun, and there's like this really cool, unique pledge where I'm going to get liquor, even though I don't think this is liquor, because I'm pretty sure they can't do liquor, but still like some sort of mystery sort of thing, and it's a mystery. Like if there's more attached to it, I think that could sell. I think that could be really polish that up. And that could potentially be something that you could do. You could swing in that 180 range, and you could get yourself some big pledges. But I don't know like the logistics of shipping any sorts of liquids. But the booze, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Oh my god, the stupid lamp, you suck, man. The lamp just jacked me in the face. Yeah, so I think that one's got a lot of potential there too. If you're gonna do the booklet, we're gonna have to showcase that a lot more though. Final grade, do I want it? I am interested in the game, but I don't feel like it's showcased it enough. Can you do it? I feel like right now we have too much flash and too much cart in front of the horse from the jump, and I worry that if we get stuck anywhere between, say, $7,000 to $12,000, like in the first 2 weeks, that we're just really like, there's the potential for people like, man, I wonder how much this game would cost if it wasn't, and like all this extra stuff. Like, do we really need $25,000 for what this game is? And I worry about that potentially. And I think you might too as well with those extra 10 days. Those extra 10 days, those are bucking industry trends, just a standard bit there. So, do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? I feel like polish some more, and you can get me there. I feel like we're not that far off. I feel like we got solid bones. Like, the amount of effort that was put into your video clearly shows, right? But I just want to make sure you can do the game look hot too. We need more gameplay focus, or maybe they're not focusing on it for a reason. Nah, hopefully not. Hopefully it's just too early. But yeah, fingers crossed. But there is a rule booklet there. I would polish that as well and make that into some sort of document. And then how much is it? Price seems great. Like, honestly, that's one of our strongest suits here. We do need to show need the shipping. But $34, I tell you, it's a $34 game. The game will retail for $40. Backing this project secures price, and that feels fine. Like, if you should said, hey, if it's gonna be $40 MSRP, it's $34, and I say that seems reasonable. Doesn't say like you're totally blowing smoke up my you know what kind of deal. January 25. That is wow. That is super duper duper quick turnaround shipping. Now, if that is in fact the case, which it might be, because once again, we don't have stretch goals. Maybe this is just a pre-order. We're just pretty much they've already paid for the manufacturing. Could be the case. Anything sub 50 is gold on Kickstarter. Yeah, like, and 34. 34. Like I said, that feels like a throwback price. Takes me back to my youth. Takes me back to my 20s. Yeah. Browsing Kickstarter in my 20s, and it was like, wow, $34 for this newfangled Kickstarter game. What's that? I'm gonna buck the trends about that cool special game. You got the price. I think we need to showcase that a lot more. $79 one. We got to work on this one. This one, I would scrape. Yeah, I'd scrape. I would scrape, and then if you want to do it, lump it in with this, or get rid of some stuff in here to bring this one down. I don't know how this is going to work. There's been a murder. You'll enjoy an exclusive group of 20 detectives in the thrilling mystery along with a commemorative shirt. Over the next 3 months, you'll receive 6 physical clues by mail bi-weekly, guiding you to uncover which patient did it. Yeah, so this definitely feels like the kind of thing that could be yeah, like, I can't get over it. This feels like the Trojan horse here. Like, it's like I could, like, if I saw them at Origins 4 years from now and they told me, yeah, the game didn't end up doing spectacularly well, but this other damn service we had ended up really having some legs, I wouldn't be shocked in any way, shape, or form. So, polish this, and I'd mention that somewhere in the video. Spotlight it, its uniqueness, because I'm sure it doesn't have the drinks, but it's still a cool thing. Drink recipe, woo! So that's cool. So it's not going to come with it, but it comes with the drink recipe. That's neat. I like it. It's a neat idea. Run with it. Final grade. I feel like that's a third of a point grade bump up there. Maybe 2/3. Final grade, I'm going to go with I think it's a C+. If this were on Kickstarter right now, I would begrudgingly give you a check mark for that Kickstarter stretch, for the rule booklet being there. But yeah, you got to have the video. Yeah, I think I'd go C- D+, but gameplay video immediately bumps that up. Solid rule booklet that I could just kind of, that's not like that, I think immediately bumps it up. Getting to that price, once again, just spotlighting that price could easily bump that up, because that price is, I think, your best selling point. It's a really rock solid price. Hit me with that shipping, hopefully with some good shipping. But there, I'm going to go with a C- on this one. Asylum Escape, a whimsical horror tabletop card game. And I'd say C- is pretty dang rock solid, considering it's still a work in progress, right? And I feel like it's just, show me more. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for this one. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 30,000 subscribers in 2024. Have a good one. Bye-bye.